Hello friends, in this video we are going to set up our admin dashboard on S3. So S3 is basically simple storage service by Amazon where we host our static files or we used it as a CDN. S3 also provide us one feature where we can host our static website over there. As you can see, hosting a static website on Amazon. So there are few steps in order to serve our websites via S3. Let's see. You can use as shown. It rates as you can use Amazon S3 to host a static website. On a static website, individual web pages include static content. They might also contain client-side scripts. So basically, our dashboard has code includes only HTML and JavaScript files with some images. So that can easily be hosted on S3. So let's see. To host a static website on S3, you can configure an Amazon S3 bucket for website hosting and then upload your website content to the bucket. When you configure a bucket as a static website, you must enable website hosting, set permission, and create and add an index document. Depending upon your website requirement, you can configure redirect web traffic and a custom error. So basically, there are a lot of configuration which we can set. So let's go to our AWS account. Let's create a bucket. I am creating a bucket with the name of admin.pricemenu.a. In the keeping the rest of the configuration as is. I'm not enabling anything, keeping all the things as a default. So in order to serve my website, I need to set up as a public website. In order to serve my website, I need to grant access as a public so that everyone can access the content of this particular bucket. So as a permission, I am setting it as. So I am creating a bucket. My bucket has been created. There is currently no content. As a next step, I need to set the properties of my bucket. I want to host a static website. So here I'll enable option to use this bucket to host a website. And by default, the default document will be index.html. I am keeping the same. And let's save it. So this bucket has been enabled for static website hosting. So this is the URL. Let's see. Currently there is no object, so it is giving me 403. So now I need to push the content of dashboard to S3. Since the content is hosted on my server, this is not on my local machine. What I can do is I can download all the assets or the folder content with the SCP command. SCP is basically secure copy. So I can use this command in order to download. So I have created one folder called dashboard and currently there is no content. So in order to download the content from my server, this command is being used, SCP. So basically we are downloading from Ubuntu. This is my server IP and this is the path where www.html dashboard and I'm going to download all the files to the // is my current folder. So as a step, SCP command. So SCP command, basically I have to provide the source path and then destination path. So here, this is my source path. This is my source path. Destination path is the current directory, and -i is being used in order to access to Ubuntu server. So I am simply downloading all the files. So if I check, yes, all the files has been downloaded. See, these are the files. Next, all the files need to have a public permission. Upload, as all the files has been uploaded. Let's see. Let's click on the URL, and yes, my admin dashboard is being served. I can verify by logging into my dashboard, and yes, I can see the dashboard working fine. Catalog, I can also verify with the network calls. So it's being hit. So I can easily browse content of my admin dashboard, and I can perform all the functions. One thing which will not work on the dashboard is URL rewriting, because the content is not being served from server. They are being served as a static website. So I'm not expecting it to work as a server. As long as I'm working on dashboard, I can bear with this thing, because anyways this is going to be used internally or my admins, and it is not going to be exposed as a public URL. So I don't have any issue if URL rewriting doesn't work over here. So this thing is done, this is done. Now as a next step, I can leave over here. Even if I use this URL in order to log in through dashboard, this will work. As a second step, what I can do is I can change the CNAME of my DNS setting to this URL and point admin dot price value dot into this URL. So it will take some time in order to reflect as DNS record takes some time in order to populate. So if I see my dashboard, it is still being served from my server. How I know that? So if I refresh the page, this will work. In case of S3, it should throw some 403. So maybe after some time, after half an hour or 1 hour, it will start working and we will verify the same. Finally, after a couple of hours, admin.pricemenu.in is pointing to S3. I can verify by ping command. As you can see, it is pointing to this. So let's access to the server. Also, I have opened S3 URL and my dashboard URL. I will log in both the panel. As you can see on refresh, it is giving 403. That means this is being served from S3. So this is verified. Also one more. Also there is other way to verify whether the content is being served from S3 or not. So when I check any of the request under my console, debugger tool console, I can see there is some extra headers added, which is Amazon ID and Amazon request ID. This is being added when some resource was served from S3. So if I open my storefront and verify any request, so there is no such Amazon ID. There is no such header of Amazon ID. But if I go to admin.pricevalue or the panel or from the S3 URL, I can see these headers are being added. Server is Amazon S3 server, but here the server is not. Server is Nginx server. So this verifies that my content are being served from S3. And if I see my server status, so I can see only 300 MB of memory is being used. So that means my API is running, my website is running, and very minimum resources are being used over here. So this is how we have optimized our resource utilization.